Monster Hunter is back on the Nintendo Switch, bringing intense new fights, tons of quality of life improvements, and insane new gear. But they all pale in comparison to the much anticipated addition of the dog. See, this is perfect! Oh fuck. Since Monster Hunter is a long-running niche series, well I guess it's not really niche. Give me a second. Molly, have you heard of Monster Hunter? I'll take that as a no. Okay, so according to my niche tester, I can confirm Monster Hunter is indeed wait. There's a fucking movie? A movie on a game franchise about cat chefs making you food before killing monsters. Ah, yeah, that sounds about right. Okay, so it's not niche. But before I get further into the review, what history do I have with the Monster Hunter franchise? Well, I'm somewhat of a veteran of the series, having played Monster Hunter World, the Monster Hunter Iceborne demo. So a veteran. Monster Hunter Ascend starts off by letting you get your Roadman certification, allowing you to shank to your heart's content. Later on, after killing a few monsters, Elder Fuging gets you to play a casual game of Nazi monsters. Which goes well until a new monster enters the fray, threatening to plunge the land into chaos once again. And no, just cause it's Japanese doesn't mean the thing's a nuke, alright? It's the big guy on the front cover, what do you fucking expect? But yeah, that's pretty much it. And if that bothers you, go away and play Torrential Rain or some shite, because the focus of Dino Souls is not the story, and nothing makes it more clear than Capcom's own page for the game. Yeah, you stay down there, you little bitch. So what's new? Well, of course they added the mounts known as Palamutes. The Palamutes are honestly amazing in itself, not to mention how well implemented they are. You've also got your new monsters, gear, and some new options when it comes to modifying your weapons, giving you a bit more freedom with your playstyles. And finally, you've got the wire bug, which allows for more mobility and some insanely cool new moves, which does wonders for the flow of combat. Also, you look like Spider-Man if he was a botanist, so that's cool. Right, let me talk about the Palamutes some more because they're amazing. Not only can I have my two dogs, Molly and Max, in the game, I had to make some compromises. The Mad Lads also give you an owl, which I've named Bob.
I'm gonna shoot your dad in the mouth.
The Palamutes heavily contribute to one of the biggest improvements in Rise, and that is how much better Traversal is. For those who don't know, when fighting monsters, they will often retreat into different areas. Which, it is great as it constantly changes up the fight, but the travelling between areas always felt tedious and annoying for me in Monster Hunter World. It never felt fun. But now, traversing has been completely changed. Riding your Palamute makes journeys quicker and so much more enjoyable. But most importantly, when you're riding your Palamute, you can drift. Yes, you heard me correctly. You can fucking drift! Also, verticality works a lot better here, because anytime there's a slight incline in the level design, you can just slingshot your way up there, rather than always having to look for a way around or a way to climb up, which also makes the optional verticality in encounters actually enjoyable rather than just being a nuisance because of how much more accessible they are. But man, the combat is where this game shines, with its 14 incredible deep weapon classes all playing completely differently with crazy learning curves that can be a bit overwhelming to start with.
What the fuck is this?
But are incredibly rewarding to learn. Each weapon class is almost like its own character in a fighting game, so I naturally picked the one with the least combos to remember.
I like this.
The monsters are always incredibly fun to fight, with so many unique attack patterns, with so much thought and personality put behind each move, making every monster all that much more memorable. Oh, he's picked up a rock, is he? The new addition of the wire bug adds even more options to your already insane kit, giving you more movement options, which is absolutely fantastic for weapons like this massive thing. Overall, I think it just really improves the flow of combat, making engaging and disengaging with monsters smoother and allows for some of the coolest moves in the game, not to mention the incredible intuitive parkour that it brings. There's also the addition of switch skills, which allow you to switch out your regular attacks for new ones, giving you some more choice and allowing you to tailor your favourite weapon that little bit more to your playstyle. You can also control monsters when they get stunned or something. To be honest, I have no idea. Another monster always just strolls up and the game's like, alright mate, do you want to ride it? So I say sure, and then demolish the other lad. It's cool and a nice change to make the longer fights feel a bit less tedious, offering a fun wee power trip break, but it's nothing game changing and it just seems a bit odd at how easy it is to mount them, considering this is the game that has you learn the entirety of the Mandarin language just to swing an axe. You also get rampages, which is pretty much balloon tower defense, but instead of balloons it's massive fucking dinosaurs. Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck! And yeah, it's pretty fun. The gameplay is fantastic, acing that deliberate and punishing yet rewarding combat that doesn't just copy Dark Souls, actually feeling unique from the sea of third-person stamina-based combat games. And you know what makes that combat all that much sweeter? The progression. Because Monster Hunter absolutely aces addicting rewarding progression systems, always offering cool rewards and cool gear to work towards and unlock. Absolutely love the new armor sets, with it being ridiculous how cool they look. And of course, they aren't just cosmetic, with unique advantages and disadvantages, so you can always bring the right armor for the hunt. Think I messed up here. The same goes for weapons. Monster Hunter just does a fantastic job of taking the unique elements of the monsters you fight and making them into incredibly cool weapons and boars. You constantly feel like you're getting cooler and better new gear, not to mention your own progression as a player, learning new combos and how to tackle certain enemies. So, how's the story? Even though I'd call it more of a jump scare than a story. Yeah, again, it's just there in the background and it's really easy to forget that it even exists. Although, I will say I prefer this than a game ramming an uninteresting story down my throat. So yeah, I don't mind it. And again, it's not the focus of the game. The performance and graphics for being on the Switch is pretty solid. Sure, it doesn't look as great as Monster Hunter World, but it definitely doesn't look bad. And it still looks insane for a game you can take on the go. I think all the sacrifices have been made in the right places to make this game work for the Switch, and it's damn well impressive even if it doesn't compete with current gen standards. Overall, Monster Hunter Rise is an incredibly fun game that takes away some of my biggest gripes with Monster Hunter World, whilst delivering new mechanics to keep the game exciting and fresh. So, to conclude, they added doggos, so it's a fucking masterpiece. But to answer the question, is this the best Monster Hunter game? Well, I can confidently say, I don't know. I've only played 2. Why the fuck are you asking me? Where does Monster Hunter Rise sit on the first rate best ranking system ever manufactured? Well, it's gotta be banging.